Lesson 3, how to optimize your bio. So now that you have your account created, let's create an awesome bio that we can drive traffic to. Your bio is only one of 3 ways you can drive traffic to your website on Instagram. So it's absolutely critical that we optimize all 150 characters that we're allowed to use here. The other ways to drive traffic to your website, I know you're going to ask, are going to be through stories and through DMs, which we'll discuss later. But in our bio, think of that as your homepage on Instagram. What you're really going to be doing here is going to be building your brand. When people engage with your content, maybe they see a post, maybe they see a story, one of your reels, they're going to click on your bio and they want to learn a little bit more about you, usually before they follow you right out of the gate. So it's good to have this nicely branded, and that will allow you to get more followers if you do that. The next thing we can do with this is we can create funnels with your bio. And we'll talk about how to do that here on the next slide. But driving traffic is going to be the next critical component. So let's talk about how we can do that. Optimizing your bio. So what you're really doing with your bio here is telling your audience in about 3 or 4 sentences that they're at the right place and they can trust you and that they should take the next step. So if you're a realtor, you want to mention your brokerage here in this first sentence. If you're an investor, you want to mention who you are and what you do, right? Redeveloping Lincoln and Omaha, if you look over in the example here. And then in the second section, you just see we are defining the areas that we serve. And you see in a couple of different places there, we mentioned Lincoln and Omaha. So it's very clear what market we're in. You also want to use an authority statement or a benefit of your service if you're brand new, right? So if you've done dozens of fix and flips, make sure and mention that here. If you've been in business for over 20 years and you've lived in the community for over 20 years, make sure and mention that here. So make sure to use any authority statement that you're able to here. And finally, we're going to use a call to action. What is the next step? If we have a website set up, we want to get them to click on that website. If we don't have a website set up, we want to get them to message us so we can take the next step, get their information, and move that conversation to a phone call or text message as quickly as we can. All right, now let's look at some pro tips here, guys. First of all, we want to use a link tree. Link trees are amazing. And the reason we use link trees is because Instagram only gives us one link to use in our bio, but we are targeting many different audiences and we want to use many different call to actions and maybe want to take our audience to many different pages on our website. So we can use a link tree to do that. And we're going to talk about that here in the next lesson in much more detail, but definitely create a link tree for your Instagram account. Here in your account, as we're getting it created, you want to make sure and add your email and your phone number to your account. And we can set the option to text message. That has a much higher engagement rate, a much higher response rate. Anytime we can initiate a conversation with the text or get our customer to, we want to take that opportunity. So make sure to set that to text. This next one, use only city in the address. And if we look back at our last page here, you see right here, I have Lincoln, Nebraska set right there as the address. So that's what we're looking to do. You can set that up in your bio. Just hit edit profile and you'll be able to make those changes. And also use your city name plus real estate for this amazing SEO hack. And this is probably my favorite tip and trick for our whole first chapter here. And what I'm talking about is right here. This is your name. This here is your username. This is not what I'm talking about. This is your account name. And if you hit edit profile here, you can change that to your local market plus real estate. And what that does is if you go here and hit search and type for your local market plus real estate, your account will show up. And that is one of the very few instances of SEO hacks on Instagram. So that's really what it is getting found using a search query, which is SEO. So great tip there, guys. Make sure to implement that one right away. All right, very good. We are ready to set up some traffic here, but before that, let's go ahead and get our link tree set up. See you guys on the next lesson.